Sha la 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 la. Dave's music stuff. I do my own sound effects, thank you very much. This is the Scruffy Cat, and today the Scruffy Cat will be mostly eating a mouse. And of course he's got a lovely tail. Okay, good. Now, just the other day, you may well have guessed, I was talking to Al. He says, you can call me Al because I don't know any other names. And he says to me, Dave, he was poking his head out the door, he says, yeah, Dave. He says, I must admit, I really do want to know something. What on earth is, really, what is a note? I says to him, Al, I says, do you know what? I shall do a video on that. I'll be right back. So, here's said video, as discussed earlier in the previous page. Right, now, we have this word, this odd word, note, N-O-T-E, as noted in Shakespearean language. I don't know what I'm talking about there. Okay, note, what is it? Well, let's take a sound. Let's have a person who has a very protruding nose and a bit of a quiff going on, and have him go, ooh. That's the U coming out there, obviously. That sound is coming out there. Now, a note is defined as, it is defined as a sound with, and I'm going to call it this, its own pitch. Pitch. Now, I did, this other word here will have to define as well, because you see, pitch is going to be defined right now. Now, pitch, really, you could say, pitch, you could say it any way you like. Pitch, you could say its place. Pitch is place. Pitch equals place. Go off my pitch, man, I'm busking here. Now, why? Because if you remember, up high, or here, or down low, you will place a note. If you're singing, you go, that's high, that note, it's right up there. And if you go here, it's a sort of medium area, it's not so blah blah blah, and it's not so blah blah blah. If you sing a low, it's maybe even lower down there. Now, wherever you place, I'm calling it a note, that's a single sound. Excuse me, apologies. Any single sound that I've placed along this line here, wherever it lands, that's its pitch. I hope I haven't overrun it. I'm going to turn the page. Did you get it? Right. So a note is a sound with pitch. That's all it is. Now, let's have a look. Let's put it into place. Right. It's a sound with pitch. I'll do W like that, with pitch. It's a sound, a single sound with pitch, to expand the definition. Is it making sense? I do hope so, because I'm running out of paper. Now, if you have a chap over here, and he's smiling away, and he's got fingers here, and he's got a bow, and he's got a sort of violin, which is a sort of psychedelic one, and he's blah-da-dee, there's the note that's coming out of it. Ah, la, la. If somebody over here, this is a very simple way of putting it. He's got very scruffy hair in an ear, and he's got a collar and stuff, and he's got a pen over here, and he's scribbling down. He's I want them to think it's and crescendos and blah blah blah. Right, now, when he is writing, that's his hair here, and he's writing, he has to call the sound a name. So let's just be really, really basic and say, at this point I want them all to play A. A is what I want them to play. And what we've done here, what this mad this composer guy here, we've named the sound. When we name a sound, if this la, if we name it A, Anarchy A, obviously as it is here, we call it a note. It's a further bit of the definition. It's a sound with a pitch, and it's got a name. I suppose you could call it John. La is John, but it doesn't really work, does it? But if you call it A, then you've got a chance, right? And music, bear with me, because this is the most very, very simple way of explaining it. There's no fancy stuff involved here. All you've got in music, in simple terms, is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's just like that. It's just like the alphabet. And they're the names of the sounds these are the names of the notes. There are a few others, but we're not even going to go there. Do you get it? I'm going to put it in so you can see it. Yeah? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's simple as Sesame Street, really. So now, if somebody said, you'd have to know how to play an A, but if someone says, give me an A, you'd say, oh, would you like a note? And you go, A? Anyway, so finally, let's recap. I do hope I've no way confused you. If you are confused, write in with a self-addressed ambulance and a small... Carry on. Okay, so a note, finally, is a sound with pitch. La-ta-ti, and it's got its own name. Okay, that's lovely. That's the sort of... Oh, is that all it is? It's a sound with a name, really. It's got a pitch. You could be all technical. Yes, Sharon, it's got pitch, which means how low it is. Yes, oh no, I study at college music, yes. Anyway, that's the end of that. We're going to turn over, and we're going to say that the cat is now wearing glasses because he's just seeing how the newspaper reads better because he's a bit short-sighted. The dead mouse is over there, of course. And that was Dave's music stuff. Love ya. Toodle pip.